It's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brand. As always, I have the latest, the delectable latest. How you doing, Nima Akashat Zubiri?
Because it's Christmas week.
Yes, so I came blinking. We're all blinking somehow.
No, I'm the only one who's not blinking.
How are you doing, Nima?
I'm looking forward to tomorrow to sleep. Because it was not a restful weekend at all. It was a working weekend. But we're grateful to God. My husband took me out on Saturday.
Oh!
Yes. He insisted that they do parties in my office too. Get up. But it was a makeup free, and it was makeup free weekend for me. It was my cousin's wedding yesterday. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Butali. Oh. And I must say congratulations to Salam Adedoja Salam Adeni, for she won the reporting category, Lagos Reporting Award at the Dame Awards. Yes,
congratulations!
Yeah. Well deserved.
Yes, well deserved for her story on how Lagos was managing COVID-19. You know, she did it twice, so you more than deserve this award. Congratulations.
She has been on this for many years, and she's been such a good, consistent reporter.
Yeah, she beat Vanguard and Punch on that category.
Wow.
She tried.
How are you doing, Tokwe Makodige? You're really blinged up. In fact, you're in the Christmas. You do Christmas.
We can feel you. Honestly, I have someone that is styling me. You can see it on Instagram, you know. But this weekend was a very busy weekend. Yes, it's
oh, nice.
Beautiful. Thank you. So I spent the weekend doing the things I love. You know, I almost posted, I love my life online. But you know, there's some days that we are crying in the bed and they don't understand. So let's not overdo it. But this weekend was just, it ticked all the boxes. We sold land. People were happy with what they bought. I went to speak at Calvary Bible Church School of Money. It was amazing.
You saw your dance?
I did then on Sunday, it was, I was emceeing. You know, when you are paid to do what you love to do, so you're just having fun and they're paying you. I love those kind of things. So I went to speak, you pay me. I went to dance, you pay me. I'm selling land to you, you pay me. As in everywhere, I am happy.
So it's a good end of the year. Fantastic. Hello, Beatrice. Give me some good news, man.
Yeah, I always have good news, you know. I'm always doing amazing. But this Saturday, I went to write my exams. It wasn't my exams. My son was writing his common entrance. So I was with him in school all through that Saturday. But in the evening, I went for a party. A friend was celebrating her birthday. So we hung out, had fun, gisted, drank some things, and, you know. And Sunday, thank you. Sunday, I was home basically trying to put my week together. I'm going to be having a very busy week. I haven't cooked my Christmas meals. I'm doing that this week, so there's a lot on the plate, but I'm fine.
Well done, well done. I like the natural thing you guys are doing.
So I was thinking, I might not be able to do my hair today. And then I saw BCC, I said, this hair is we are both rocking natural, guys.
Anyway, my weekend on Friday, my family's classmate became a son. S.A. I mean, that's a big deal. One of his classmates, Olabi Kuti of Pexton and Grace, and he's a partner there. So it was a nice evening at Sky Lounge in the hotel. It was nice. I mean, I generally sat down there, minded my business. I didn't do anything.
Did you not take pictures?
I didn't take as much because it was their party. I didn't want to just get drowned by just.
But you were recording in a hotel room.
After that,
leave Mr. Brown alone. Leave Mr. Brown alone.
Honestly, you need to follow
Mr. Brown alone.
He was so sweet.
No, I actually wanted to do some recording with him. So in fact, we did.
He was warning you seriously. I want to know the question.
So cool,
I'm not talking about this. I'm like, whoa.
So, but
he's content.
Yeah, he's content. And I recognize content when I see. When I hear Brown, you're content. So we have to do something about this. But before you know, we have to thank Satellite Town Forum. They sent the ladies of Your View. Said that for your extraordinary contributions to community struggles of the Satellite Town Forum. Thank you so much for this award. We appreciate it. I know Nima has been a really great advocate in Satellite Town issues, especially the traffic, the congestion, the retailers and all that. She's been a huge spokesperson. I think this is well deserving. Thank you so much for giving us this. We appreciate it. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Right, we're going to start with The Nation. Disquiet as Buhari declines assent to Electoral Act bill. Only 25 varsities have full accreditation, says NUC. 2.6 trillion naira. NATI shifts report on 77 firms status to Q1. Bandits killed 38 in Kaduna community attack. Nigeria protests assault on citizens in Togo. Chinese loans to Nigeria now $3.5 billion, says DMO. Okay, let's start with the major headline. Who has our story? Electoral bill.
Electoral bill to the National Assembly. 30 days period window within which it was supposed to accent to this bill has elapsed yesterday. And now, so we have people talking, saying, according to Nation, they said a source said that the Federal Attorney General, that's Malami, had advised the president to decline accent, saying that the Constitution does not determine how primaries will be run within parties, and for just that clause alone. Now, the president declined accent to this. And noting that voting on this, on how we must have primaries, direct primaries within parties, is why there was an amendment in the first place. This was the conversation.
No, there's a lot more to the amendment.
No, there's a lot more, but this major conversation, this went back and forth between Governors Forum and all of them. And I would expect that, the stand of the president should have been clear from day one. You didn't have to
wait until...
Yes, now, because there are campaigns on some television stations already asking the president to allow this happen. And we're
going to make it a topic tomorrow. We'll try to dig further and see how we can understand, get some clarity on this.
Obviously, we're waiting for the National Assembly to do the needful.
Well, now define what needful is. So veto, so we'll discuss it and see. All right. Let us take a more story. Yeah, go ahead.
We saw the viral video of some Nigerians who were seen in a video being maltreated at the Nasimde Eyadema International Airport, Lome, on Saturday. So the Embassy of Nigeria in Lome is talking about it, saying that they are registering their displeasure with what has happened, and this is not in line with international best practices. And so they are beginning to, sort out the issue. At Lome Embassy also said that they are they are addressing the issue. And so the story of what really happened was that these young gentlemen were supposed to fly in. So they were aboard Ethiopian Airlines from New York. When they got to Lome, they were informed that the connecting flight to Nigeria through the A-Sky airline was full. And so they were protesting that, and then the officials came with the handcuffs and maltreated them. So Nigeria is really saying that they're not going to handle this. The embassies are, addressing one another, and the people have been successfully evacuated into Nigeria. So I just hope that, I like the fact that our government responded immediately. It gives us a form of hope that Nigeria still has us out.
Okay.
So, quickly, this is how Nigerians have been treated.
We're going to be talking about that also, so let's not dwell on it for now. Okay, because I know that your body is boiling. Calm down. Moving on now to the Punch. COVID-19, FG issues travel advice. Lagos vows clamp down as infections soar. Picture here of runners at the Madrid's annual charity run in the Spanish capital. Detained female soldier will be penalized for accepting couple's proposal, says Army. Police go after woman for buying newborn for 50,000 naira. Couple arrested. FG releases a billion naira grant to 4 states for pilot ranching. 12 killed, scores injured in Bauchi. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway crashes. FG evacuates Nigerian passengers assaulted by Togolese officials. And Punch shines at the Dame Awards, wins newspaper editor of the year and others. All right, let's start with
human interest.
Human interest. Go ahead, please.
Yes, so men of the Ogun State Police Command arrested a couple for allegedly selling their 1-month-old baby for 50,000 naira. So I think the police got wind of what happened, and then they picked up this couple after they had sold the baby. So according to their story, they said a particular woman came to them and promised them that they were going to hand the baby over to welfare to help them take care of the baby, more like an adoption. And so they gave the baby to the woman gave them 50,000 in return, and ever since the woman had disappeared. So the police is searching for this particular woman. The couples are already in custody. They are going to be handing them over to the human trafficking and child labor unit of the state, and probably prosecute them for that.
Let me take the story on the a billion naira released for ranching, because remember there's been herders farmers clashes. So a billion naira, federal government released the seed grants to Nasarawa, Plateau, Adamawa, and Kaduna states for the development of pilot ranches at their domains as part of the measures to halt clashes between the herders and farmers. Now, about 22 states, I believe, had actually indicated interest in this in this fund. But right now, they're going to be giving these states I mentioned earlier, a pilot seed money to start and let us see what it's going to look like. And of course, this money doesn't come without conditions, part of which is that they have to set up a state NLTP to settle all the nomadic and herders issues within that community. So they're going to have an office, that'll be like a liaison to ensure that the relationship within the farmers and herders are also probably...
Has the money been released or will be released?
The money has been released already in November. I think it's November 2nd, and it's been disbursed, and they're asking that let us begin work on
I think it's a bit late because usually dry season is when they need this money, when there's no food within their area, and that's when they move. But we're happy that it's released. We want to see implementation. I want to quickly take the story of an accident that happened in Ogun State on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Luwakwe area. The the Ogun State Public Education Office of the sector of FRSC confirmed this happened between two vehicles. We lost 4 people, actually, and about 14 people were injured, 2 women, 2 men. And the cause of the accident, because I travel these roads to my site, and it is, at some point, vehicles are facing one another, and then suddenly, one person trying to overtake another confronts a bus head-on, which is what has led to the loss of lives. And we are entering the season where a lot of people are going to continue to be on the roads as a way to go for the festive celebration. Let's not lose unnecessary lives. Let us ensure we keep to speed limits and avoid unnecessary overtaking.
Yeah.
Sad about the story.
Are you taking a story?
The detained police officer, female soldier, had accepted the proposal of a UCOM member in Kwara State, and this has become the talk of everybody. So she's been detained. According to the director of the Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, what she's done is against the rules of the Nigerian Army, which is, of course, fraternizing while on duty and, you know, with a trainee under her watch. According to him, he says she violated the Nigerian Army rules and regulations and guiding codes of conduct of military personnel while deployed for duty. And our action amounted to taking advantage of our trainee, noting that the public would have been outraged if it was a male soldier proposing to a female copper. So but he didn't state in the report what would be done to her, but she's been... No, gadroom lifestyle is not something somebody will wish for.
I find it quite interesting. Anyway, yeah, but let me quickly take the major story. So the federal government is advising Nigerians that you don't have to travel, whether locally or internationally, if there is no need this period because of the COVID-19, the rise in COVID-19 cases. There's a report here by the NCDC. It says the country increased, the COVID-19 cases increased by 761.45% within 2 weeks. So between November 21 and December 4th, the country recorded 1,035 cases of the virus. But between December 5th and December 18th, we've recorded 8,916 cases of COVID-19. And so they are intensifying the measures against people who are not agreeing to carry out the tests, those who are traveling. And other states as well are saying they're going to comply with these cases and ensure that they intensify it. Bauchi, Ogun, Kano, everybody's appealing. If you don't need to travel, there's no point traveling.
Stay put. All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're going to move on now to Vanguard. Jen Magoro to Buhari. You can end insecurity within 6 months. I read that story. Herders, headsmen attacks. Autumn laments high number of orphans in Benue. Reps committee queries NIS for engaging consultants to handle visa passport processing. 58 killed by bandits, Boko Haram in Kaduna and Borno. Planned tax on carbonated drinks will compound unemployment, says Labour. First Bank unveils 2021 December will be calendar. Jail invasion, FG sets up joint task force to ward off attacks. Couple sells 1-month-old baby for 50,000 naira in Ogun State. And no president from North would champion restructuring, says Chikwas Okore. All right, which story are we starting with?
So Reps Committee on Nigerian Immigration Service have engaged I've summoned the Minister for Interior, the PAMSEC, and the CG of the Immigrations, acting CG of the Immigrations to appear before them. According to the Chairman the House Committee, Wole Oke, they did this because they visited the embassies and found out that the Ministry of Interior invited consultants to handle visa and passport processing within the embassies abroad, embassies abroad. And they cited South Africa, Atlanta, US as the countries where they find this out. They said, I give you a scenario where in South Africa, out of the revenue of $213, a consultant took $90. Out of that, only 15 came to Nigerian posts. Only $15 came to, out of the $213, only $15 came to the Nigerian post. And that particular consultant is managing 14 countries. And Nigeria is bleeding through that window for that consultant. So they're asking, if the officials of the Ministry of Interior, the immigration and all of them abroad are not trained for that job, why we shouldn't be the one there? I've been asking questions. Everything.
Do we need all these
contractors and they are making money off us?
Okay, let's find another story.
One consultant be taking $90
so
and we're looking for money.
It's really sad. The National Union of Food, Beverages and Tobacco Employees have spoken up this weekend. They said that the planned tax on carbonated drinks would worsen unemployment within Nigeria, saying that a lot of what they've heard from their employers is that these companies are already considering, they are doing research on how they can move their manufacturing to a more conducive environment like Ghana and bring in finished product into Nigeria. And that they are employing a lot of people, that like 7-Up Bottling Company has over 10 locations in the country and they plan to expand. Also the same for the Nigerian Bottling Company and others. And that what the government should do is to provide the conducive environment for the companies to keep on expanding and employing more people. But as it is right now, increasing the tax on carbonated drinks will mean that the drinks will go up. And if the bottom line, or if the company profit margin reduces, they would have to lay off staff. So that this is not the right line of action right now. They want to increase, taxes are increasing generally next year, so...
Right. Let me just take the major headline, because I thought it was quite interesting. The fact that the former Minister of Internal Affairs was saying our President, General Muhammadu Maguru, retired, was saying that he can end insurgency in 6 months. And according to him, during Shehu Shagari's time in 1983, where these herders, farmer clash, the terrorists were actually attacking the communities, that the commander-in-chief at the time established the headquarters of the army in Maiduguri and dealt decisively with those rebels. He also said that we need to start a traditional rulers intelligence consultative forum, which is to empower the traditional rulers, because they are the ones closest to the people. And then it's important for them to be the champions of these consultations with those in the forest and those who are being attacked. That there's a lot that can be done that's not being done right now, and that the government must decisively ensure that they're working to stop insurgency, especially in the northern areas of our country.
Yes, so Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State is crying out as a result of the number of orphans in the state and the internally displaced person camps. He's blaming it on the activities of headsmen, and he's lamenting that the state is left to carry the burden of these orphans. Most of these children do not even know their parents because of these headsmen that come in and kill their parents before they are, they are grown and they are growing, and then everything is just left with the people to find a way to handle them. So he's appealing to the citizens of Benue State that for those who can afford to eat 3 square meals, you should also think about the vulnerable persons, that he himself had to adopt about 4 children from one of the orphanages. They are still bearing their parents' name, but then he's just trying to see how he can help these people. And so if you're well-to-do in that state, please find a way to adopt some of these children and give them a sort of home.
Okay, Daily Sun now. Electoral bill lawmakers talk tough as Buhari holds assent within deadline. Unkpuru Imiri FG to build 15 psychiatric clinics in Southeast. Bad day for kidnappers and robbers as mob sets 2 suspected thieves ablaze in Anambra. NAFDAC licenses Abuad, that's the Afebabala University, to produce herbal drug. Again, blood flows in Kaduna as bandits kill 38, burn houses and vehicles. Igbo groups raises the alarm over multiple security checkpoints in southeast. And military raids Turji's hideouts, kills scores of bandits in Zamfara and Sokoto forests. Okay, which stories are we taking?
Two suspected thieves have been burned to death in Oka, Anambra State, by an angry mob. They said the incident happened at Regina Seli Junction along the Oka-Onitsha Expressway. It happened on Friday. I think they were suspected to have stolen phones from this particular club, and before they could say jack, they had burnt them down. So the remains were still there till the next morning, 5 a.m. And you know, eyewitnesses were saying that in that part of Anambra State, they don't take thieves for granted. Once you show up as a thief, once they get you, they will burn you down. They carry out jungle justice. But there are some parts of Anambra State, like Mpo and Obosi, that they don't do that. They will just refer them to the police. I'm just worried that for things as little as phones, you are killing somebody. We should try as much as possible to allow the police handle.
Exactly, no jungle justice.
So you know how we're complaining that we don't have enough research done in Nigeria, we should be able to put together our own vaccines. Well, congratulations to Afe Babalola University at Ado-Ekiti. They've gotten approval from NAFDAC to go ahead to produce the herbal Vericidin liquid with effect from December 16th, according to them. This is an immune booster, an antioxidant for coronavirus and other viral infections, which can also be used as an anti-inflammatory agent. And this is really exciting.
We should be clapping.
That's great news. So with the production of these, with this drug, hopefully we can be able to suppress or even increase the immunity of people so that against the coronavirus. That would be great.
So, according to the Ogakwatakwata of the Federal Medical Center in the East, they'll be building 12 psychiatrist hospitals within the Eastern region and all the states in the East. He talked about how this would encourage people to come, you know, they would do management and all of that professional services for those dealing with mental health. And then linked it to the Ukpurumiri that is, you know, plaguing the East right now, saying that, you know, whatever is leading people to consuming that damaging, dangerous drug would be dealt with if they can access psychiatric help.
Very good. I want to take the story still within the Southeast. A group called Cultural Credibility Development Initiative has petitioned the IG of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, and the Chief of Defense Staff General Leo Irabot on what he described as strangulation of Igbo land with checkpoints. So the fact that they raised in the letter was that if you're driving from Lagos towards the Igbo land, once you get to the outer ring of Benin City, you have checkpoints for every kilometer, 1 kilometer checkpoint. They say travelers from Abuja see checkpoints at 2 kilometers until they reach Delta North fringes. That the two sets of travelers are now inundated with more checkpoints at every half kilometer from that point on. And the distance between checkpoints reduces to 200 meters once a traveler crosses the Niger Bridge. Now, according to him, according to this body, they are legally writing this letter so as to raise the awareness that this is making life difficult for travelers. My husband experienced it, that the reason for traffic going to Benin was because there were several checkpoints on the way. But the other side of the story is the checkpoints are there for security. So how do we find the balance in ensuring that checkpoints don't lead to major traffic gridlock? And especially when it is 200 meters from each other. It's too close now. I don't know. So maybe the military and the police should reply them before there are insinuations on what is going on.
Move on quickly now to the Nigerian Tribune. Very quickly. Tension persists over electoral bill. Nigeria's tech startups raised over $1.7 billion in 2021, says report. Couple sells 1-month-old baby for 50,000 naira in Ogun. Jailbreak FG to deploy joint task force of armed personnel in prisons. Police nab 11 suspected kidnappers in Taraba State. Tribune best in informed commentary at the Dame Awards. And special report Amotekun, so far, so good. Okay, which story are we taking in the Nigerian Tribune?
I think the operatives of Nigerian Police Intelligence Response Team, in conjunction with the Taraba State Police Command, have arrested 11 suspected kidnappers in Taraba for their involvement in various criminal activities, especially kidnapping in the state. So they had to work together with the Nigerian police to carry out this arrest. And they said some of the kidnappers, I think one of them killed a Nigerian Customs Service official, a relative of the Emir of Jalingo, and the killing of a police sergeant in Jalingo as well. So they said they found arms and ammunition comprising of AK-47 rifles, 2 Beretta pistols, 121 rounds of live ammunition of different caliber, 4 magazines, masks, illicit drugs, and other incriminating items from these people. So they are going to be prosecuting them, and they, you know, sort of warning every other person to be very careful, especially in this Yuletide season. All
right, I was going to take, I was going to take the story about the NDLEA.
But there's a bit of good news from the tech industry, so let me take a more good news based story. 1.7 billion naira has come to Nigeria just in 2021 to tech companies. Africa boasts of about 7 tech unicorns, and Nigeria has 60% of them. So tech people, young people, keep on doing your work because money is coming into that industry in Nigeria.
To fund you.
All right, great. Let's go on a quick break now. When we come back, we'll move into a hot topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Over the weekend, we saw videos about Nigerians being mistreated and maltreated at an airport in Togo en route Ethiopian Airlines. And the video obviously went viral, and many people have expressed their concerns about how Nigerians are treated abroad. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs have sent out a press release saying that they're on top of the investigation has started. We also saw in the papers today that the Nigerians affected have been brought home already. And then we're waiting to hear reports from official reports on exactly what happened and if prosecution will take place afterwards. However, the real crux of the conversation is, why do we have to always get Nigeria? Why are Nigerians being treated this way internationally? What is the root cause of this? What can we do diplomatically to forestall these sorts of treatments against Nigerians going forward? That's our conversation today. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to read your messages. All right, let Nima start, because I know that you really expressed displeasure over this video, and I'd like to let you start the conversation. Go ahead, please. So
a lot of times Nigerians are treated like this. We have the Tunus case in question in African countries. So these were 2 travelers who had stopped at Lomé to get a flight to get them to Lagos. They were coming from the US. And that flight was announced full. So what is the right thing to do? If people had already booked, did the flight not have a schedule of the number of people they were going to carry? Were these people just told that they were going to fly without booking, making any arrangements? Of course, they made arrangements, and they had relied on that representation that there will be a flight available, a seat, and probably made commitments at home that I'll be in Lagos this number of hours, within this number of, to maybe to meet an event, hoping that, things will just go smoothly.
A business meeting.
Yes, and when you disappoint people like that, you are supposed to be sorry and treat them better. You're supposed to create comfort for them. But we saw our own people, our own brothers, being rubbish on the floor, about 6 people on one person, holding and stretching their legs. I thought they were carrying drugs, though.
Honestly.
And the way they were stretching them, I was like, even if this person will add firearms, is it? Look at the way they were treating them.
So I know that there was a report I was reading, in the reports I read concerning how Heathrow Airport was able to revamp their operations. What they did was call all the stakeholders. The airlines were called together alongside people within Heathrow Airport to say, what can we do to have that synergy? So when there's a flight delay, the airport is aware there's a delay and knows how to manage customers' expectations. Okay, this is what happened. The airlines will maybe sort you out concerning refunding or rebooking, but as the airport itself, they also have responsibilities to the customer. So there's that synergy. But if we see, in this case, it was wrong. So what it was missing. But regardless of that, the issue is the behavior, the treatment.
Yes. No, what is the standard? The standard is that you create comfort for them. So if flight was changed, we've made another
That's the airline, not the airport. No, they are two different things.
The airline and airport officials should work together.
Yeah.
So they probably put them in a lounge, calm them down, and, you know, explain the delays that they have to them. And if they want to protest, shaping a protest, they do not slap anybody. But what we saw in this video is like you're trying to arrest somebody trying to escape arrest. They did not put them in any lounge, obviously. They did not calm them down, obviously, and what they have done to them is more than actionable. Right. If I were there, I would sue them.
Let me get your thoughts on it.
Yes, so the only thing I see here is discrimination. We discriminate against ourselves. If it was a white man whose flight was delayed, trust me, those Lome officials will not treat that person anyhow. They would find a way to appease you. They'll tell you, we are sorry, it's been delayed a bit, we are working towards it. You will see them, they are trained, they know what they are supposed to do. But once it comes to a black man and it comes to a Nigerian, there's a way these other African countries look at us. And I will blame it largely on our own governments. Over the years, we've seen how our government has acted like it did not care, especially towards citizens outside the country. We're still struggling to get the care we that were inside this place. But especially for those ones outside, we've noticed that lackadaisical attitude, except it's a VIP and you see the government moving. If these African nations know that if you mess with a Nigerian, we come for you, they will sit up. It's as simple as making sure that your customer service is being given to everybody. Everybody gets your utmost excellence of service. Everybody's giving, whether you're a white, you're a black, you're an Indian, you're a Chinese, whoever you are, if you come into our airport and anything happens, we will take care of you. And you make it very transparent. But what I see is because they have this notion against Nigerians, when it comes to things like they just assume everybody coming from Nigeria is either a thief or a drug peddler, and they treat us anyhow. But we will not take it again. No.
Let me come to Tokwe, because you are addressed how you put yourself out there, and it seems like as though we also don't treat each other the right way. I mean, they see how even our security operatives within our countries treat us. So how do you expect somebody to respect you outside? Even within your own shores, you don't respect yourself.
So while I agree that if there is any shred of discrimination from, it looked very discriminatory. It looked like there was abuse of power and there was suppression of someone's ability to easily express themselves. I don't want to say that this is being done because we're black, because there are videos that I've seen in the Oyinbo airports, in the abroad, in the US of A, where people were forcefully being removed from the aircraft, or people who misbehaved were being treated the way anybody that misbehaves is being treated. So I feel that we are accusing them based on what we've seen other countries do to Africans, to us. Let us give that investigation time to find out specifically what they did. Because I'm trying to understand if I'm at the airport. If I'm at the airport and I am politely asking, oh, can you please find out, can you help me understand what's going on? What are you doing to resolve my case? Nobody will come and drag me out of the place. So there must have been a level of aggression from the part of those that are being dragged as well, if we check very well.
Is it possible?
Because I don't believe that somebody will just come. Somebody, as I'm standing, like I just stand and I'm asking questions politely, and then the police will come and drag me.
But let me play the devil's advocate here a bit, because the truth is that if your flight was being delayed in Dubai, in France, in UK, would you protest? Would you as Africans, because you know we're in France right now, and our flights have been delayed, would you gather yourselves and say we're going to protest this? Because usually, if we were, because it's there's an angle that because we're in an African airport, we can protest. Now we will protest. But if you are in a European airport or in Dubai, there's a decorum that you automatically assume, because you're in this European airport and you just keep asking politely. So there's always that issue.
I had the same experience with an airline in the US. The flight was delayed for 2 hours, then later delayed for like 4 hours in America. And I was wondering, seriously, they already told me that this flight is spirits, the spirits can behave anyhow. So I just sat there and I waited, and everybody was, they kept announcing this is what happened. Because of COVID, they don't have enough attendants, and the lady that's supposed to come could not make it down, she's not feeling fine, one thing. So after announcing, by the time they extended it to 4 hours, they gave us a meal voucher. Everybody got a meal voucher. But I was looking at the time that I can't be here for another 4 hours. So I went and I asked, is there any other flight I can take? They said, no. I said, can I ask for a refund? I got it. I filled a form. They did a refund. So
airline
I used my money,
or airport?
Airline. Yes. So I used my money to book another airline. So I'm saying that if the company, they should investigate thoroughly to find out. There are multiple people that will be probably wrong. Maybe the Nigerian citizens overreacted. Maybe they overreacted because of the way they were treated when they went to make inquiries regarding how and when their flight being delayed would go on. And it wasn't even be delayed. They were overbooked. So the plane was going to go.
They did not know.
Wait.
They were overbooked, so there was mismanagement on the part of the airline.
So you're saying there are different factors. Yeah, let me come back to BC.
Okay, so what I see is communication is always a problem with African businesses. Right. So something is about to go wrong. Nobody will tell you anything. You just sit in the airport. They will cancel your flights. Nobody will tell you anything. Nobody will give you an excuse. Nobody will tell you why what is happening is happening. You'll just be waiting. It's frustrating. So I have spent money. I'm coming all the way from America. I have meetings I need to, and you're not even making me feel like we're sorry, we're overbooked. These are the measures we're putting in place in no time. Okay, why don't you chill here, sit here, eat this, let us fix this. You're not giving that to people, and you say I should not shout about my money. I will shout. I will scream if I need to. And even if I am in America or in Dubai and this happens and nobody's making me feel like, just relax, we're doing everything we can to see how we can put you on the next available, I can react. As long as I'm not a criminal, I don't have any drugs in my pocket, I can react. Okay. I have paid my money and I should be treated fairly. So it's about
let me go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue with Nima. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing the treatment of Nigerians abroad. I think I have Bola and I come to Nima. Good morning, Bola. Are you online?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Exactly, yeah. I'm calling from Abuja.
Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, what happened in Lome that you said, we need to be aware of something. Togo and Benin Republic, they don't allow protest from anybody. It's only in Nigeria that people are allowed to protest. Like when we had ENSA the other time in Nigeria, people were marveled over there. They were surprised. How could people face the policemen in the name of protest? So in Benin Republic, in Togo Republic, it is not allowed to protest. They are obedient to the government. You know, these are smaller countries, and they are not developed democracy-wise. So they are still learning some things. You don't protest in those countries. They see it as a rebellion to the government. So even in the case of the other man, they were warned. Nigerians should not protest. They don't allow it over there.
Wow,
so it's only in Nigeria that we do protest. So over there, you keep calm and you expect government to intervene. So I think that is what must have happened for them.
Thank you, Bola. As I said, the government is still investigating, and we're going to get the official report exactly what happened and transpired. Yes, Nima, your thoughts?
So I don't understand overbooking of any airline. It's not Molue now. There's no standing inside. You know, so it's either the number of seats available are clear and they are communicated by airport. Even if the plane is stopping every airport in every country, they already know the number of seats, the available seats. That can be determined. And so these people will not have, been hopeful that they are getting home in a few hours. When their plane lands, you now say you're overbooked. Also, I know the standards abroad because I've handled this for a makeup artist before Sheung when she lost her luggage with Ethiopian Airlines. And we had to sue them. If you have a delayed flight, under my research at that time, I think it was 600 pounds compensation for some countries to $25 for depending on the number of hours.
So they didn't
calculation.
Need to protest.
So no, if they don't have the information, and then, if they, as BC said, the communication of what had happened might have been poor. These people might have been provoked to say, why we just been ignored? We have plans, and we also already paid for services that you have failed to render. You know, so
let me address culture. You know, thank God for the perspective, a different perspective the caller brought now. That in this country, the culture is no protest. Where those protesters are coming from, in their country, if you don't protest, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, if you don't protest, your salary will not get paid. If you don't protest, you will not get basic access to what is your human rights. So I have been in the airport in Nigeria where my flight was overbooked, and they said they were moving me to a 2-hour or the next day flight, and it wasn't like they were going to provide accommodation for me. And I had a visa appointment in the U.S. Embassy in Abuja. So I was like, I cannot afford to miss this appointment. I've paid money too much. And I was still trying to be polite. My friend had called her mother and said, go to the counter, rake for them. The next day, mommy had gone, they booked mommy and checked in. I was calling my friend that, I'm still waiting. No. She said, mommy has checked in, better go and rake. Wow. And I went there and I raked. And when I raked, I got on that flight. So in our culture here responds to aggression. So if I come, you say you're not getting everybody queue up. I say, I know they queue up for a year. Who you be? I go. They let me go because they cannot handle my grace. So the country has created a culture that makes everybody go crazy. So
going back to what I said earlier, when you enter an airport, a foreign airline country, you're not sure of the culture. So usually, if you're in Dubai or in Europe, you assume that they would give you, compensate you for this. You assume that there's some kind of elderliness. So because of that, you have the decorum, you comport yourself. To the point where you ask questions. What's going to happen to us? Are we going to be compensated? But if you're in Africa, your mentality automatically thinks, I'm just telling you the reality. Our mentality automatically thinks, I must confront. I must fight for it. So that maybe that was the direction they used to get this kind of... doesn't make it right.
In fairness to us, Africans, we're not mad people. We go to, those of us who travel within, we go to the airport. We don't see people screaming. I don't scream. I go there and something is wrong. I expect you to communicate to me. So I always go back to the counter to ask, okay, what's happening? How long do we have to stay? They'll say, hold on.
Your countenance is always very... Let's be truthful here. Our countenance, we are talking to our people. It's different.
The thing is, when I'm communicating to somebody who is giving me a service, you should be receptive. You should make me feel okay. And that's how I drop my countenance. A sweet word turns away wrath. That's how I would drop my countenance. Because when I came there, I didn't come to fight. I came to travel and do my business. So, but Nigerians are not animals. Nigerians are not... We think... We do well where there is a system. The problem is that we do not have systems here.
Hear my point.
And I'm also seeing that, especially in this Lome now, I think they have, because I've been to Ghana, I've been to Botswana, they are calm. If anything goes wrong, they will communicate to you. They keep communicating to you till you get it.
Okay, the point I'm making, I hear you. The point I'm making, look, let's start within. Forget Togo, forget Ghana, forget Botswana. Inside here, if you want to go to the bus station or the train station, there's a way you automatically assume. Anybody says, sorry, the flight is delayed. You already put on it, and you wear it immediately. We are Nigerians.
Paid money now.
We wear it immediately. So what do you mean by it's delayed? What time? You don't even come. Oh, sorry, really? When do I expect to get the flight in the new time? So is our culture here? Is that perspective? Let me take this call from Dr. Moyo. Good morning.
Our culture.
Okay, I don't hear him. Dr. Moyo, are you there?
Yes, compliments of the season.
Compliments, madam. Go ahead, please.
Yes. I think this issue has to do with disrespect for Nigerians.
Thank you.
Because this is not the first time this issue is happening. Remember you talked about it when this ambassador, I don't know maybe you remember, when this ambassador was being assaulted, I can't remember the country. But it's not something that will stop anytime soon. Because, and for this issue to get this level, that means there was breakdown of communication along the line.
Thank you.
Somebody did not understand another text, and it degenerated to the level where the individual was being assaulted. I don't want to care what happened. Nobody deserves that kind of treatment.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Moyo. I have the ambassador himself to the Republic of Togo, Mr. Debo Adesina, is on the phone with us. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning, my dear sister and my colleagues. How are you all?
Very, very well. Good. We're glad to have you. So
you sound very well. You sound very well.
So because you are the ambassador to Togo, give us an insight into what could have happened and transpired at the airport, and what reports have you received from the government of Togo concerning this matter?
Well, my dear sister, my brothers, once again, I wish you the very best of the season, and I also send my greetings to members of your family.
Thank you, sir.
Remember, this happened on Saturday. It's a weekend, and all the government agencies, of course, apart from the aviation sector, was practically on the weekend and shut down. Well, first and foremost, let me say a very big thank you to our Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, who has been up and running over this matter. Indeed, I saw the video earlier, but you couldn't really tell where it was. So it was his message to me that then alerted me to the fact that this was happening in Togo.
Yes.
And I got up immediately, I drove myself to the airport, called some of my officers, and we got there. And of course, it was true that there was an incident there. Yeah. What happened was that a number of people flying from New York were stranded at the airport, and they protested the fact that their flight to the connecting flight to Lagos was now rescheduled or cancelled or whatever it was that they were told. Of course, there's nobody flying so many hours from New York through Ethiopian Airlines who would find that rather acceptable. So they protested. Remember, the regional airline, so to say, has some in Togo. The airline's name is Askai, and it's also run by Ethiopian Airlines. So it's the same group. They're in the same group. So they couldn't understand why their flight to Nigeria would now be disconnected. I mean, will be cancelled, so to say. So they protested, and that was what led to the scene everybody saw on the video. But when I got there, interestingly, a week or a few days more on that, earlier, a number of Nigerian diplomats, including former President Obasanjo, had gone to the Gambia to monitor the presidential election there. And they also got the same kind of problem with the Askai Airlines, cancellation of flights, postponement, and indeed, 7 of the Nigerian ambassadors, retired ambassadors who were part of the Commonwealth Election Monitoring Group, was stranded, so to say, in Togo. They had to leave the following day. One of them, Ambassador Ladan, I remember him very well because he was here with me for 2 extra days because they said his COVID test was positive and things like that. So it's not a problem that just started. But remember, these are Nigerians from America going home for Christmas. Yeah. People are waiting for them. We're waiting for them at the airports or whatever. So they were a bit angry, understandably. Now, I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know. There are stories whether somebody beat up somebody.
So, sir, somebody was telling us earlier that you took...
But remember, this is
Sir, somebody was telling us earlier that in Togo, they don't accept protests. Is that correct?
They don't
accept protesting. Protesting is not part of what is acceptable in their community. Is that correct?
Well, I do not know about general thing, but in the airport, in the aviation rules, I happen to know. Because of safety, there are fears. If somebody gets violated inside the airport or inside the aircraft, that should be a major problem for them, and nobody will accept that. But again, I'm not even saying that people did that. Anyway, the scene happened, and they were being handcuffed and whatever. Of course, I was watching that as I was dealing with inside the airport. As I was saying, remember, they were in departure because they were in transit. It's difficult for you to move from arrival into departure, so I needed all the necessary passes. But I was busy on the line with the minister who was permanently ready, to do whatever I needed, to assist with whatever I needed. Luckily for me, in the earlier crisis, I had met their equivalent of Director General of the National Civil Aviation Authority, a retired colonel, whom I spoke to, and he immediately joined them at the airport, arranged and told Askai Airlines that you must airlift everybody out of movement today. Indeed, fantastic gentleman, he used the phrase, not to Nigerians. And I'm saying this on my word of honor. He said, no, this cannot happen to Nigerians. And he made all the arrangements, and almost everybody was evacuated, including those who were initially shackled. All of these were going behind the scene. Myself and him, Your Excellency, I've done this, I've done that. I said, please.
So, sir, because of time, sir, I have to pause you for a second, sir. We need to know what diplomatic actions will be taken against these people that perpetrated this act against Nigerians.
Well, you know, as you rightly said, diplomatic steps. If it is diplomatic steps, you don't go on air and start talking about it first, because you are looking for a resolution. You are looking for a way to end a crisis. So you don't go out, but you can be sure that necessary steps are being taken to make sure remedial measures are taken by way of some kinds of apology or whatever. And of course, that will be consequent upon a formal request by us to them to ask, why did this happen to our people? And why did you treat them this way? They will state their own case. And of course, by the way, Togo is a very, very friendly nation. It's a very, very friendly country. We both founded ECOWAS together. Before the other countries joined, it was Nigeria and Togo. And since I got here 7 months ago, it's been one wonderful experience, brotherhood, friendship, everything. So all of that will come into play in what we're going to do. Of course, we are going to let them know that this shouldn't happen to our people, and it never happens to anybody.
Right.
Nigeria set so much store of our Africanness, set so much store of our humanity. No matter how big or how a country is, we treat everybody as a brother, as a sister.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. It's a pleasure having you on the phone to shed light on this. We're going to go on a break now. When we come back, we continue with the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we've heard from the ambassador himself, and we'd like to hear your thoughts. Please call us again on 081-2705-3687, 091-390-76948, and also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to read your messages. Yes, Nima.
So from what the ambassador said, it's obvious that the airline elicited the services of airport officials to curtail our people and their protests. So the airline in this case did us, a disservice. They've been paid for service. This is their own way. And airlines, all airlines, under their rules, they have their own rules on how they deal with issues of this and ethics and of how they deal with these issues like this. And obviously, this had gone wrong. And then they got airport officials to say, these two people want to join the airline by protest and, so hold them down.
Stop them.
And that's the way to go. But rather than have a handler come to them, apologize for what has been done to them, find a place to get them settled and compensated and treated well, with dignity. I saw Nigerians rubbing floor like mop because, somebody said they should be held down. I think that, yes, the ambassador has spoken, but I think more than, this should be done to them. That airline particularly has a habit. Jumoke's auntie had called from Lome, one of these African countries. She had taken Ethiopia Airlines and stopped between a country. And they said they changed the flight on her. She was stranded in that country. She was made to pay from her pocket for how she got back home. She had to find another flight by herself to come back here. She led the protest with Jumoke then, I think 2-3 years ago, to the airline to go and, to get compensation, and decided Jumoke had to go live on that. A lot of times they do these things and they get away with it. It cannot continue to be, especially when we are in African countries. Don't assume because it's another African country, like it is home. The woman was alone, traveling alone. She was stranded. Obviously, she was helpless.
Yeah. Let me take this call from Abuja. Albert, are you there?
Yes.
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Calling concerning the video of Nigerians being maltreated at the Togo airport.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. So watching that video, of course, it's really, really dehumanizing. It's really bad. But I'm calling not to side with any group. But I want it's clear, since it's public now, to send a message now. We should not give coloration to any wrongdoing, any crime. Whether it's by the black, or white, the green color, person, purple, whatever color. What is wrong is wrong. It should be universal. What is right is right. It should be universal like that.
Right.
But wherever you are, you must learn to observe and respect the culture of the environment where you are. So ideally, what happens is this. It is no denial. There are bad elements, bad Nigerians, of course, that send signals maybe due to their previous experiences in some parts of the world that will make the whole world think that, okay, so this is how Nigerians are. But that is completely wrong. Yes, You find stupid people in Nigeria. You find stupid people anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
You find illiterate in Nigeria. You have illiterate anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
You have criminals in Nigeria, so everywhere. Right. But do not define collectively the whole people because of the nature of a number of people. Watching that, I knew that, okay, what came to my mind is this is my personal opinion. The security or the workers at the airport, they didn't start to do this without anything happening. Something must have happened. Something must have signaled such treatment. Either some arrogance or some display or, whichever way. Yes, the practice is unprofessional because if there's any serious problem, the airport workers are supposed to call the security officials who will serve their duty with decorum. If it is to arrest, if it is to restrain, whatever, and not to handle people like animals like that. On the other side, Nigerians, we feel like wherever we go, we make it our ground. I mean, the things you cannot do in your own country, but you want to do in other countries, and you want other countries to respect you because of where you are from. Just be civil, be coordinated. If you notice any worker, whichever national that is working unprofessionally towards you, simply appeal, take the case up to whatever international organization or to your embassy in the host country or to your government or to the government authorities of the country where you are. I mean, there's no need to make any...
Yeah. Thank you so much, Albert. Thank you very much, Albert, for raising that point, because that's another point. And let's be real, I hear you. A lot of Nigerians who come abroad, who come home from abroad, many of them get into these kind of issues with either security operatives, we've seen quite videos in the past where when they are home for the Christmas holidays, they're confronted with the bike man that hit them, obviously, or the police. There's always that initial conflict, because you're coming with that from a society where everything works. And you're thinking, like, listen, you guys don't know it better, and I know it better. So there's always that perception. I'm just saying a different view, because there's always that view of, listen, I'm coming from a society where things are working, and you guys don't understand, you are wrong. You're constantly almost judgmental sometimes on people, either in Africa or even within your own country sometimes. I'm just saying that we also need to come home with that decorum. Listen, the same respect you give the police living in America that you're coming from is the same decorum they expect also in Nigeria, in Africa, wherever you are.
Mariah, everything does not work even in the America. I've been there, and I've been treated if I had reacted the way I would have reacted if I was in Nigeria. No. I just felt, I don't even react in Nigeria. I just state what you have done to me, basically. But I think it's within everybody's rights or anybody's right to show a form of displeasure if you're paid for a service and you're not getting it. Nobody can take that away from you. However you want to do it, just apply decorum, the way you are learning to be a civilized human being. But to say you don't show displeasure, I think that is all shades of wrong. You can't show displeasure when you have paid for a service and you're not being given that service. Also, I think these other African countries need to stop the stereotyping. They have stereotyped us for a very long time. They just assume everybody who is coming from the shores of Nigeria is either a thief or a criminal. We have, in fact, even in their countries, if we check the statistics, we'll see Nigerians who are there who are doing amazing. They should stop that. And I also would like that they apologize for this misbehavior, because this is just not one of those things you call international best practice. They've just shown us that they can treat us this way, and we can decide to boycott them. So they should come up with an apology and, show a way that they can do things better going forward. Absolutely. That's what I want to see.
I totally agree with you.
I think that I need to acknowledge the good work of our relationship with Togo to resolve this issue, that they were still able to fly, one. Two, I think that Nigerians should also please learn to follow legal means. I know that because it might take a long time, but there are compensations for every wrong action if you would prosecute. So rather than us just reacting in that moment, just take a step back and sue the people to court. You get your compensation.
All right, that's all we can take. We have to run, unfortunately. We run out of time. Let's go on a break now. We'll come back and move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on now to the issue of insecurity. Join us on the show to speak on the essence of being security conscious, especially at this time of the year, is the Commissioner of Police and the Force's Public Relations Officer, Frank Mba. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Mariah.
Good to have you on the show. Now, let's start with, we'll start from the soft to the hard. So let's start with the Yuletide season. What would be your own recommendations to Nigerian travelers going across the country? Earlier in the show, we talked about multiple checkpoints in the southeastern parts. People actually complained about this. What are those? Why is that there? That's one. And secondly, how can travelers have a safer trip to various parts of the country within this Yuletide season?
Okay. First of all, let me start with your preparations before you travel. Before you even begin that trip, I want to advise very strongly that you take adequate precautions to actually safeguard your home before you actually leave the home. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of holiday makers make is that before they even embark on their journey, they have told the whole world that they are traveling. They've told them the date when they are traveling. They've told them when they are returning. And then they begin to post all kinds of pictures on the social media handles, forgetting that criminals are also using the social media. So you need to, first of all, make sure that before you leave, you secure your home front. So first of all, be discreet about the information you pass about your travel. So don't give out all your travel plans. And don't begin to post pictures even before you complete your trip. Yes, sir. Number two, if you know you live in a house that is big and lonely, or it's a house that stands alone, please create the illusion when you are aware that actually somebody is in the house. Wow. Don't just let the entire neighborhood know that you have traveled and probably you are not coming back for the next 2 weeks. The age-long wisdom in quotes, the wisdom passed on to us by our grandmothers, our grandfathers, whereby we try to hide the keys to our houses under the carpet, by the flower pots, on top of the air conditioners. These things don't work again. Criminals now clearly know where you keep your keys. So if you are traveling and you make the mistake of keeping your keys under your carpet, under your foot mat, on top of your air conditioners, by your flower pot, you might just be making your house vulnerable and a soft target for criminals. Yes. As a police officer, I've seen cases where criminals visit some of those houses when their owners are away, pick up the keys, gain access, constructive access into the house, stay there sometimes overnight,
eat your
ransack the house, steal all the things they need to steal, even cook food there.
For real?
And take a nap before even going, because they know nobody is going to challenge them. So you need to, first of all, take care of this situation before you embark on your trip. And then when you eventually hit the road, then make sure you plan your trip properly. If you're traveling far away, for example, somebody's traveling from Lagos to the southeast to the south-south, please leave on time. There is no need for you to travel in the night. And if you're traveling, make sure your vehicle has got what we call breakdown kits. Your breakdown kits must consist of your spare tire, reflectors, jumper cable, flashlights, and all those things that may be useful to you in case of a breakdown on the road. And I always tell Nigerians, the skill needed to drive around Lagos or around the metropolis of Abuja or Port Harcourt, for example, might not be the exact skill you need when you are traveling interstate on the highway, where probably you may have to drive for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours on end. And that's why during this period, if you are just someone who have been driving around Lagos for some time and you've never used the highway where you drove for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, please get a competent driver to drive you and your family and yourself home. Don't take the risk of hitting the road with the entire family because you've been driving between VI and Lekki and Ikoyi. No, the skills are entirely different.
All right.
And then, of course, you must not drive while you are drunk or on the drugs. And then probably we will also talk about how to deal with the challenges of law enforcement personnel on the road.
Okay, that's the one we really wanted to talk about. But before I let you talk with them, ask that question. What is a vacation without pictures and social media and telling them? I mean, that's the new world we live in.
You're asking him?
As we are stepping out of the house to take a picture, as you are driving 1 mile, you take a picture, the scenery, the whole. So the police is now telling us that we can't take pictures because we don't want everybody to know that we've gone out.
Don't post it yet.
Please protect the people that we left in the house so that we can enjoy our vacation.
And take our pictures.
Well, no, this is not a rule. This is an advice, and that's why it's called security tips.
Okay.
Nobody is saying you cannot. Mariah, it is not an order and directives. Okay. It is a piece of advice.
Okay.
So you can do all that, but the point remains that you do it at your own risk.
Right.
And we are speaking from experience, from informed position. And we are saying, you take all your pictures, keep them, and you can share pictures later. Share them when they are safe for you to share them. Because if you give out so much information about yourself, then you could also be unwittingly putting yourself on harm's way.
Okay.
It's the same thing about your financials. I've told people so many times in the past that you don't discuss so much of your financial. I've seen some people that every single thing that happened to them in their financial world, they go to churches to give testimony. So you go to church to tell them, oh, praise God, last week I did this contract for the past 1 year, they've not paid me. Just 2 days ago, they paid me 30 million naira. Hallelujah! And everybody say hallelujah. And then kidnappers are actually in the church. Or informers to kidnappers are in the church. And then they go back and tell them, oh, Mr. Johnson has just gotten a big package. A big hit in his account.
Confirmed authority.
They just paid him 30 million.
So let's go for him.
So these things are real, and you just need to manage them.
Okay, sir. What changed? Because as Africans, we used to have this belief that when you have arrived, you hide. That's the saying. So, what changed? Nigerians didn't used to announce big things. They just enjoy it privately. What happened?
It's only you that be
social
media.
What kind of
social media now?
No, I wanted to hear the philosophy behind.
Let him answer.
What changed?
Mr. Frank, did you hear that?
No, I didn't get the question.
Sir, what you said used to be the ways of our people. When they have things, they make money or they're traveling, they go quietly. People used to be afraid that when you tell your neighbor, village people will happen. And now, what has changed? Is it that Nigeria suddenly became secure? What's the philosophy behind people flaunting everything now?
I want to prepare you.
I think social media has also come with its own pressure. A lot of people are struggling to belong. As a matter of fact, some of the people that even make the announcement, the things they are announcing to us are not entirely true. Sometimes they are exaggeration. Sometimes they are entirely false. Because we have a generation of people who just want to belong. And that's why a lot of young people are committing suicide. A lot of young people are depressed. A lot of young people are melancholic because they are unable to contend or deal with the pressures from the social media. But I keep telling them whenever I go to youth forums and I'm speaking to young people, I tell them, a lot of the things you see on the social media are not even true. But again, these criminals know how to actually carry a background check on people. So you don't need to give them too much feed. You don't need to provide them too much data. You don't need to provide them with too much raw materials with which to perfect their crimes against you and come after you.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me just throw the question back to the police, because one of the things that people have complained about, even I took the story in papers today, that there are several checkpoints, and it is not that bad in other parts of the country. Said specifically, they gave example of if you're coming from Abuja to Niger Delta, it is at 2 kilometers, then it gets to 1 kilometer distance. Even in Benin, when you're approaching, it's 1 kilometer, you see checkpoints. And that when you get across the Niger Bridge, you start seeing checkpoints every 200 meters. I want to just ask you, sir, do you think it is necessary to have those that many checkpoints? And how can we do this in a way that will not lead to hardship of traffic?
Okay. I want to say this with every sense of responsibility. We're also Nigerians. The police leadership is essentially peopled by Nigerians. We drive on the road ourselves. We have relatives on the road. We have friends on the road. We have journalists giving us feedback. We have citizens giving us feedback. And when the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Akali Baba, met with commissioners of police and other strategic managers of the force, I think about 2 weeks ago, one of the key issues that came up was the issue of the roadblocks. A decision was taken that the commissioners of police must return to their bases, to their AOR, to their areas of responsibility, and review the number of checkpoints on the road and delete or take out those checkpoints that are not necessary. What we need to do is to strike a balance between providing safety and security for our people and also making sure that our people are able to drive on the road with a certain degree of comfort. And that's exactly what we'll be doing this Christmas. But we at the force headquarters will not just allow the commissioners of police to do that without providing extra layers of supervision. So from this force headquarters, the monitoring units have also been dispatched, and they will be patrolling those routes. So while the policemen are policing the citizens, the monitoring units operatives are expected to actually police the policemen themselves and ensure that not just that we reduce the checkpoints to the barest minimum, but that even the checkpoints that will be in existence are functional and they are made to serve the people and not to serve other ulterior motives. These are what we'll be doing this Christmas. Every checkpoint that is unnecessary will be collapsed. They will be dismantled, and the existing checkpoints will also be monitored, supervised, and make sure that people, police officers who are manning those checkpoints, conduct themselves in a manner consistent with the rule of law and do their job in a manner that will give succor to our citizens and not to create additional problems and traveling bottlenecks for thousands and millions of Nigerians who will be traveling around the country for the holidays.
Okay, let me ask you, sir, how ready is the police to protect the lives and properties of the citizens, especially this period? How prepared are you? What sort of trainings have you gotten? There are some areas now that are, becoming hotbeds of, pockets of violence here and there. Is the police really equipped to handle this, especially this period?
Okay, first of all, we need to identify the kind of crimes that are usually associated with this season. Apart from the challenges we are having the challenges that has to do with banditry and kidnappings. Usually, this season comes with its own generic kind of crimes.
Yeah.
This season also comes with some specific types of challenges. So in addition to what we are doing as police officers, part of the reason why I'm here on this program is also to let Nigerians know the roles we also expect them to play. Now, before I return to the harder types of crime, this season is a season where we notice that parents will usually lower their guards. And because of the high level of activities, social, economic, cultural, and religious activities, and the kind of conviviality that plays out during this season, we also discover that there are a lot of crimes taking place within our homes, and parents are not aware. Sexual predators, sex molesters of children, sex rapists, and all kinds of sexual offenses hit the roof during this period. Wow. And unfortunately, a lot of parents are not even aware. This is the season where people want to live out their fantasies. This is the season where people want to experiment drugs and experiment alcohol. This is the season where child molesters will use the twin tool of enticement and entrapment to gain access to young children, taking advantage of the opportunity and the cover that the Christmas provides to sexually molest and assault our young girls. This is the season where a lot of date rapes and acquaintance rapes take place, because even grown-up women become a little bit relaxed and careless and play into the hands of these sexual predators. This is the season where accidents happens on the road. This is the season where you find children getting drowned either in the swimming pool or the beach. This is the season where a lot of fire accidents also occur, because the Christmas coincides with the Harmattan season. So part of the reason why I'm here is to open up the eyes of Nigerians, open up the eyes of our parents and guardians, so that they can take care of these bits while the police officers are on the streets, on the highways, taking care of the tougher and the harder types of crimes.
Fantastic. Thank you. I think this is what you just said is most crucial, because many of us don't remember these are the seasons for these things that happen to children. Well, another part of this conversation that I'd like you to address is the fact that the Yuletide season also is a money-making season for security operatives. I mean, this is time for them that they feel like the kind of money they're going to make this year, this December, because they collect money from citizens. You know, they compel citizens to give them money and funds. I mean, this year, we're all in the season of giving. But what kind of training, I would also go back to what the BC said earlier, or awareness have you given to your colleagues to ensure that if they give you, take. If they don't give you, don't harass.
Don't extort.
Just let our people go. Let our people. I mean, they shouldn't just stress us out this December.
Well, again, this is big thing for us, and that's why I said for us here, apart from the trainings, we will be doing strict enforcement of our standard operating procedures. Apart from the general trainings we've given to police officers, at all the police divisions, the area commands, and the command levels, there are in-house trainings that take place on daily basis. But again, because police officers are also human beings, we need to monitor what they do. And that's why we have specific departments like the monitoring units, the X squad, the Force Provost Marshals that will be deployed during this Christmas. We will monitor our policemen. We will make sure they do the right thing. We will make sure they comply with our own standard operating procedure. And most importantly, if you follow our social media handles, we've been pushing out essential numbers to Nigerians. The numbers of the control rooms, the numbers of the police PROs at the different state state commands and zonal commands, the numbers of the commissioners of police and AIGs in charge of the zones and the different states. Why we are doing this is to provide citizens a tool for accountability. Citizens must have access to the police leadership. Citizens must be able to call the police, call the police supervisors, call the leaders, call the police officers, providing leadership at the different levels, and report infractions on their right and seek redress if their rights have been infringed upon or there are threats to infringe on their rights. So for us, what we're essentially doing is deepening accountability, deepening transparency by pushing out all these contact numbers and making sure we respond to citizens, not just responding to distress caused about crimes, but also responding to citizens' complaints about high-handedness from police officers.
Right. Okay.
So I'll definitely continue to advise our audience to check online for the police Facebook handle to get the numbers out. But I wanted to ask you, I wanted to find out from you, how prepared are your people? Because every metropolis, it's the season. People would hang out and they will come back home late. And it is the fact that they are coming back home late. We can't expect everybody to get back home before 8 o'clock or before 9 o'clock, because sometimes parties will get into 11, 12. So what would you say can be done to increase the level of safety we would feel as citizens when we are driving back home at around 11, 12 in the night? Why do we have less security operatives presence at night, even though we know the night covers more criminal activities? We'd like you to address that, please.
Okay, for this Christmas, we'll be deploying massively, and I'm sure we'll be able to fill in any gap at all that you might have noticed. We'll be doing a lot of deployment. Our deployment will be massive, particularly for cities like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, places like Anambra, and the Kano, and the rest of them, where we expect a lot of increase in activities. Citizens in these areas should be assured that they will have a lot more of police officers on the road. We're also aware that our counterparts from other law enforcement agencies, particularly the Federal Road Safety Corps, are also doing a whole lot at the Federal Road Safety Corps is doing. They are also deploying massively at this period. So we'll be doing a lot of massive deployment, but we'll also be appealing to local government councils and other persons who have responsibilities to also ensure that our street lights are working. Yeah. Those areas where there are street lights, whoever is responsible, we're appealing to them to also make sure that these street lights are functional during this period. When our street corners are properly littered, it also makes our job a lot more easier. When our highways are littered, it also makes our job a lot more easier. Yes. And for those who are also responsible for keeping the grasses in the median of highways off those areas, we'll also be appealing to them to ensure that they do their job. When you patrol the highway and you have bushes, you have...
Yeah, we have to wrap up with you, Mr. Fakamba. I mean, but I've always asked this question. Anytime I have you on the show, I always like to ask this question. It's my own personal question to you. Please, this is your black uniform. It doesn't make our police officers look good. In fact, they look like they are ready to attack. They don't even look like they are friendly and acceptable. Can they go with the blue top and the black pants? Everybody should have that. It should be uniform. They'll look more attractive and approachable. And, you know, with these black bikes, as if they just sent you from one place to come and fight us. It doesn't look attractive. Just see death. Please, something more softer. Consider it, please. You're laughing. Consider it, sir, please. We have to let you go. I won't let you respond. Let me go on a break.
Okay. That's noted. I don't think this is a conversation for here.
Okay.
But that's noted. I'll take that message back to the Inspector General of Police.
I
hope he's watching. I'll take that message to the management team. And I'll tell them, this is what Mariah and the ladies on Your View said today.
Please. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you. We're speaking with the Commissioner of Police and the Forces Relations Officer, Mr. Frank Mba. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We're going to go on a break now. When we come back, we go on to give you our 50,000 naira. Remember, we're still having the African-themed Christmas. Woo! So we're going to announce our winners today. And also a 50,000 naira gift voucher to Ada Small. We're on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, as we said, we're still having our African-themed Christmas. That's why we have a set by Finesse Events. Kehinde Onabanjo gave us this lovely set. And we have Chobotimo give us Super Tongues. Give us this lovely calabashi. I mean, she's been really amazing.
Without the palm wine.
For our kuli, she brought a nice basket and all that. So, as we said before, we had put together... We had gotten 880,000 naira from our fans, and the ladies of Your View decided to give it back to our viewers. So we've been picking out since last week, and this week is going to be our final pick. So today, our first winner, who's picking? Nima Akashat Ziberi. Please pick somebody. The winner of our 50,000 naira.
Come on.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Please, let it be somebody that's well deserving of this.
She's getting
compelling story. Yeah.
Official Ajolamide. So she says, I will be so grateful, moms, if I'm being considered lucky. I am currently a final year student at TASWED. 50,000 naira will really make me smile this Christmas, as I have projects fee to pay up. I have valid ID cards and documents to prove it. Thanks, and God bless the giver.
Congratulations. So she will definitely, our producers will call her up to get her account details, and we'll be happy to send this money. So, as usual, the next person that calls now within Lagos State will get this 50,000 naira gift voucher from Ada Small. So while we're giving out this gift, Ada Small said that they would like to participate in giving our viewers, because the truth is that Ada Small has been quite supportive of Your View for many years. And so they called us up and said they would like to give us 50,000 naira gift vouchers. And it has to be used by December 31st. So you have to hurry. Once you get the voucher, you have to hurry, go spend it at Ada Small. You can buy, the ground floor, they have groceries. The second floor, they have clothing and gift items. I'm told we have a caller. Yeah. Take the call, take the call. Dr. from Ebutemeta is our winner. Hello, Dr. How you doing?
Hi. I'm fine, thank you.
Congratulations.
You just won yourself.
You just won the 50,000 naira gift voucher from Ada Small. So Ada Small is in Alausa. No. That's not sorry. I'm not going to get the address. Agiding B. And then Jack on Dayway, where Coca-Cola is. That's in road.
You can't miss it.
Can't miss it.
You get the place.
Off Latif Jack on Day.
Off Latif Jack on. God bless you. That's the place. Off Latif Jack on Day. Yes, we can hear you, Dotu.
Yes, I can hear you.
So, did you get the address?
My address?
No, I'm telling you that the Ada Small, if you just got one of gift voucher, 50,000 naira gift voucher, and you can go to Ada Small, which is on Latif.
I can't hear you clearly.
Okay.
They'll communicate to him, don't worry.
Should we terminate this caller?
No, please don't.
If you can't hear me, you don't get my gift.
No, calm down. Your blood is hot.
I can hear you now.
Even I can hear myself. All right, congratulations, Dot. Don't worry. The producers will tell you, give you the details, but congratulations to this.
Congratulations.
And we have one more.
Yeah.
We have one more. Eleganza Cooler! So it comes with either the suitcase or the big ice buckets. So let's see, one more color before the end of the show. We get this Eleganza gifts for us. These are really nice casserole dishes. Yes,
are you sure we'll not give our YouTube people?
Yes, let's get someone on YouTube.
YouTube people somebody. Just comment.
Who is in Lagos? Who's in Lagos? So a YouTuber that you find in Lagos right now wins this one. Let's do YouTube.
Yes, YouTuber in Lagos. If you're in Lagos, the first comment
just say I am in Lagos.
Just say I'm in Lagos, and then we would.
No, even if they're not, they can give their family members.
No. We want
them to
collect. Just type it now. I am in Lagos. And then
see me,
it doesn't look like they want to.
Okay, we're waiting to get comments from
we're going to get YouTube comments.
Just say I am in Lagos, and you got this set of coolers.
In Lagos.
I've seen someone.
She said it first.
Yes, that's the first person.
Congratulations. Send us your details, your phone number privately to us.
Everybody is not dropping.
I'm sure it was network.
Mikali, so please let me just screen grab his Mikali. So send your phone number. We'll reach out to you immediately to get this delivered to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, guys. It's been a pleasure. I'm so excited. And I mean, guys, this Friday is our last episode for the year. Woo! The ladies have been given a 1-week holiday.
We are excited.
We'll just be doing the reviews. I mean, I don't even know. I'm going to Barbados.
I
want to go to.
Announce where you're going.
Hey, don't announce where you're going. Okay, I'm going to be there.
Traveling anymore.
All right, that's all we can take. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.